Hi, I'm Sam. I'm 22 from Ripley in Derbyshire. I currently work as a design coordinator for JF Tomlinson, which is a regional building contractor based in Derby. I'm also in the final year of my degree at Sheffield Hallam University, where I'm studying architectural technology part-time. I'm going to give you a brief insight into a couple of the ways that I use IT and computers on a daily basis as part of my role in design. When I was in school, I was never very interested in computers. I found IT lessons tedious and uninteresting, and I was much happier writing things down and drawing things by hand. However, as I've got older, I've been introduced into more and more ways that computers can make your life easier, especially during my time at university and in work, and now I don't think a day goes by where I don't use IT to help me as part of my design work. So first up is SketchUp, which is a really simple, easy to use software that designers use to create 3D models such as this. It works by drawing 2D shapes and extruding them to make 3D forms like this. So for example, draw a rectangle, extrude, really simple to make whatever shape you want really. SketchUp's usually used to make early concept models as it's very easy and straightforward to use and can create really quite effective designs. So from the SketchUp model you can produce things like this, which is a little animation video using different camera angles to show what the whole of a model looks like. This is a really effective way of showcasing ideas of what a project could eventually look like. This is actually one done by a colleague of mine, showing a little house project. The one problem with SketchUp is that you can't really build from a model like this, which is where Revit comes in. And this is done. So this is Revit, which like SketchUp is a 3D modelling software. However, where SketchUp just uses basic shapes, in Revit you draw using actual building elements such as walls and floors, meaning you could physically build something using what has been drawn in Revit. So for example, this is a project called Greenwood House, which is a medical centre that we're actually in the middle of building right now. So where you saw SketchUp was just simple lines and shapes, these are actually, so if I click on that, that's actually showing the properties of the actual roof that we're building on site, which is quite cool. So it works like SketchUp. You draw shapes in 2D. So for example on plan, but rather than just drawing a shape, I can draw an actual wall. Just save that. So I go to architecture, wall, draw my shape, and based on the shape that I'm drawing and the properties of that shape, the height, things like that, I then go into 3D and it actually, Revit produces the 3D model for you based on what you've drawn in 2D, which I found really cool actually. The first time I saw that when we got taught it in uni was really quite cool. Yeah, from drawing in 2D and using SketchUp to having something build the model for you, is really quite good. So Revit is the most common modelling software that you'll tend to find that's used in the construction industry. It's used by architects, engineers, contractors like ourselves, pretty much everyone. I personally love using it. I think it's really fun, and certainly doesn't feel like work when you're drawing something in Revit. It's really quite rewarding. So then finally, from the Revit model, we can use rendering software such as this to produce really nice looking visuals. Again, this is Greenwood. I believe this was made using rendering software called Lumion, which takes the Revit model, puts it into this, and then you can add nice materials, backgrounds, people, cars, things like that, and just make it look really spot on. So again, like with the animation we showed you earlier, it's just really to show off maybe to the client, the end user, or just the general public what a project will end up looking like. And again, this is using a different bit of software, but the same idea really. This is one that I actually did myself when we were putting proposals forward to a client for a new science block at school. So this one's actually been built. It's now being used by the school. It was finished a couple of months ago, and it's pretty rewarding knowing that something you've drawn in Revit and using Enscape, which is this rendering software, is actually been built and is being used. And so that's it really. I hope you found that reasonably interesting. I know it was only quick, but it should have given you a decent insight into the way that we use computers and technology on a day-to-day basis in design. And it's not all just Microsoft Excel and PowerPoint. Thank you.